Greetings, most honorable listeners and masters of the martial arts. I am Travis.
I'm Chris.
I'm Big Los.
And this is CTE, and this is going to be an experience for you. And so since it's going to be an experience, I'm going to start off with some music. I got some music. Oh, but before we start, I'm going to go ahead and say we are sponsored by the Virtual Fight Tour coming up this Saturday, May 29th at 6 p.m. Make sure you get your tickets for Virtual Fight Tour 8. People, make sure you get those tickets. Stop waiting around because we got a jam-packed show on that one. And just get some nothing but heat fights. All right, nothing but good fights, man. All right. So the music we're gonna start off with.
Hey yo, I am the star in any room that I stand in. I am the standout, you just my stand-in. These bitches copy my homework, that's what they hand in. That's why I'm private like the airports I land in. Life is a beach house, don't let the sand in. I ball in any arena, go let the fans in. I should go cop a New Jersey, that's worth the Camden. These bitches time tick-tocking, better stick to dancing.
Yeah, y'all stick to dancing. We stick to kicking and punching and fighting and all that good stuff. And make sure y'all do it and watch it this weekend. Chris, Los, how y'all doing? How's everything? How's the family? How's work? How's life? How's the last week or 2 weeks for you, Los? How's everything been going with you guys in your lives?
Busy.
It sounds like it.
Busy. You know, we're opening up our second location, so just trying to put that all together. We want to try to have it together by summer camp, so just a lot of red tape we got to go through, just a lot of stuff behind the scenes, plus physically putting it together. So that's why I missed last week because we got caught up with doing all that. So
yeah, I saw some of the posts working on painting, all the other stuff.
Then this weekend was cool. My son made a traveling baseball team, so that was pretty cool for him. He was pretty excited about that.
Congratulations.
That was 4.5 hours at the baseball field, but it was worth it though. He played really well. So yeah, it was good. It's been good.
It's the oldest?
Busy, this is my youngest son. He's pretty good. He's a good little athlete. So yeah, he's gonna be all right.
So he's following in his big brother's footsteps and playing baseball.
Yeah. Obviously, his big brother loves baseball and plays baseball. He's just kind of doing it now. It's his time. So he's actually doing fast pitch and he's pitching and he does all the different. He plays a lot of different positions, but ideally he likes to pitch. He's a really good pitcher, just as his big brother is too. Mm-hmm. So my daughter pitches softball. So they are, as far as that goes, they're all athletes as far as that goes. So yeah, it's been a busy, man. Like they're all into something, and it's just trying to get to them, trying to run the school, trying to build the other school. It's a lot right now.
Yeah,
we get a good long weekend.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
This long
I told you we're
coming
going
up.
to Ocean City. We're going to Ocean City this weekend, so we're going to a nice little 4 or 5 day little break.
Ah, yes, Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Seawalk, how was your weekend or week?
Man, it was good. Busy. Same thing with Los. Setting up for summer camp, making sure all crossing T's, dotting I's. Making all the ducks in a row, and dealing with the last minute people who, are last.
When do you guys start?
Next Tuesday.
You guys
Tuesday after Memorial.
Tuesday coming up?
Tuesday after Memorial Day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think the kids got out of school like Wednesday, right?
Wednesday is their last day in school. I'll probably run a day camp Thursday and then leave and head to go down to Florida Friday after classes. Friday morning. We're going to go down. We have our daughter, our third daughter, Kiara. We have her baptism on Sunday. So nice. We're going to go down to Florida and do that and spend time with the fam and everybody. So I'm looking forward to that.
Nice man.
Yeah. I just got back from Florida, but that wasn't a little break. It was a 1-day trip.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw that. There was like a little, there's like a Facebook meme that's kind of going around. And it's like, if you see this picture and you think you see a boat, you really need a vacation. Oh, yeah. It's a ripping couch. I was like, I sure saw a boat.
I did too. Hey, as soon as you started to say it, you see a boat. I was like, oh man, that one got me too.
Yeah.
I did not see that one, so I guess I don't need a vacation or something. I don't know, but I think I need a vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just been. Yeah.
How about you, Travis? What's been up with you?
Yeah, what you been up to, man?
So what's up with you?
Filling positions and whatnot.
Yeah, somebody quit last week, so he did it smartly. He waited till all the bonuses came in, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm out." But the thing I found out about it is he's going to my old boss.
Oh, so he's going to the old.
So he's going to. I took the job from my boss. He left. He had a new position, and I guess he couldn't hire anybody for like 8 or 9 months or something like that. And as soon as it was up, he's like, "Yo, I'm out." I'm like, all right. So it gives me a chance to rebuild the team in my image. You know what I mean? Like as opposed to having the people who are resentful that they didn't get promoted. So. I've been doing interviews, but it puts us down behind because the people we're interviewing, I'm like, yo, it's no way we're going to hit certain deadlines because of I can bring in the best program in the world, but they're not going to be able to get up to speed and get us and hit the deadline. So you're going to have to talk to the clients. So they're going to have to temper AT&T's expectations or whatever. So yeah, that's that. But I mean, I went axe throwing. I chilled. Did a little shopping and it kind of actually got
that, man. I think I want to take my staff axe throwing.
It's not bad, man. Like the one I went to, it didn't have the electronic. I went one in Michigan and they had like an electronic score board, so it shows you exactly what the score was. The one I went to down here didn't have that, so we had to calculate it based off the points of where we landed or whatever inside of there. But I mean, it was fun. I had done it once, and so
how much? I'm always like one of time, right? So on the value of time, like how much time? Like, do you just play for like an hour? Like you play?
Yeah, we just played an hour.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just 1 hour. And it was like $30 per person, and then you just. But I think it depends on how many people are in the group. You know what I mean? Like, so if it's 1 to 5, it's this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's this one. So based off the size of the group, and if you go during the day or night, it really depends. So it was a fun little time, man. And then and that was it. I just sat here. This weekend, it was like the first weekend I just kind of just sat here and didn't do anything for like Maine. And I just sat here and was like, okay, I watched the playoffs and that was it. Like I literally did not do much.
Good. You probably needed to just do that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, for the last 2 weeks, I've been like physically, I have not been in the best space.
Yeah. How are you doing? I mean, last time I spoke with you guys, you were having an issue with your back and everything, tightened it up on you. How have you been doing with that?
I had it finally cleared up, I think, last week. But then right after that, my stomach started acting up bad, and so I was messed up from that. So it was like, so then I thought I had got everything situated like at the beginning of the last week, and then it kind of acted up towards the end. Yeah, and then it's like, all right, well, let me just sit here and not do anything, like just actually relax, because I think part of it is stress just from trying to do so much. So
yeah,
and one of the things I did do is I went on Upwork, and I'm about to hire some people to do some work for this. Like, all right, I can't do everything. I can't do all this. It's just time for me to actually hire some people. And I'm actually in that position to actually be able to do that now. So I'm like, all right, I can afford to pay some people and be good with it. So. All right, but enough about all of that. You know what's coming up this weekend, people? This is Virtual Fight Tour 8.
8.
And that means we have to do predictions. That means we got to look at these fights and say who we think is going to win, how the fight may come out and play out, what may go on. But before we do that, I want to I guess we should talk about all the rules.
I thought you was going to lead into the preview for 9.
Well, okay, all right. So we're gonna get to the predictions, but we got 3 things we want. I want to talk about first.
Okay.
So it's 3 things. We got VFT 9, some stuff that may be coming up on VFT 9. We got that. We have there have been some initiatives really to get certain things to happen. Like they're starting to really push this jumping off the cage and scoring.
Oh yeah.
They're advocating you get extra money if you do that. So that's one. That's another one. And then the third thing is Mr. Ross Levine made an announcement.
He did.
Yeah, I'm gonna start that because we kind of hinted at it, or we kind of asked like, "Yo, does anybody know what's going on with it?"
We did.
Yeah. So and he made his announcement. He signed I think a 2-year deal with Karate Combat. I think I'm not sure.
Multi-fight deal at least.
Multi-fight deal with Karate Combat. And So he's going in that. It's different than doing just regular kickboxing. 4-ounce gloves. No thigh kicks, right? But you can kick the
Calf.
Yeah.
Calf kicks are okay. It's like a sweep.
Yeah, it's like a sweep. So you can do that, and then you can follow up, and then you got 5 seconds to hit on the ground. So it's like no ground fight in kickboxing, but inside of this karate combat, you got 5 seconds to hit the person a couple times. But it's not, it's not like MMA. So, what did you guys think about that? And I'm not gonna say he's not the first one to go in here, but this is going to be an interesting. I think it's interesting that he's doing it.
I think it feeds well into what he does. I think this is the potential for a natural progression for him to become a superstar in this league.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm very excited to see Ross compete with these guys, because a lot of these dudes you see are more traditional based kumite fighters, not necessarily with a lot of movement and stuff. So for Ross to have the power that he's shown through Glory, but have the movement and the agility that we demonstrate in point fighting and sport karate, I think this is going to be very, very good for him.
Yep. Los, no thoughts?
I just like to see how it works out, how it plays out. I think it's different. I think it's going to be different than the kickboxing. And it's going to be obviously different than what we do. I have watched a couple of fights, and as you said, it's a little more traditional base. But it's some hard style fighting.
There's some fighters.
Yeah, so it's like, fighters. I don't think Ross won't be able to match up with it. I just like to see how it actually pans out for him. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do I think he could rise in there and be a star in it? Without a doubt, absolutely. I just like see how it works out, how it pans out. Hopefully they'll match him up, in a good way for him too, to kind of build and get a comfort zone in it. You get what I'm saying? Not to storm into the wolves right away.
Right. Now give him one.
I think they're going to promote him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah. So I think if they help, as you say, build the story and build him, I think it'd be great, right? I think if he gets thrown into with someone that's just like a lion already, it might be a challenge because it's just different. Like, I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
And although it's like really, really hard kumite, it's not kickboxing. So when you're in a kickboxing arena, that's a different mindset. When you're doing, point fighting or super fights, even that's a different mindset. This is like trying to blend them both.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And just for him to go in and, like, because he's a name coming in and you give him like whoever the best fighter is at that moment, not saying he couldn't do his thing, but I would like to see him give him the opportunity to grow. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think them bringing him in, I think they're going to try to make him the face of. I think they may try and make him the face of Karate Combat, possibly.
At least from the American side,
as you said, Chris, that he could be a star in it. Is the following and the money side of it going to be a better opportunity for him than what kickboxing would have been, or that arena
for him to go there? I think so.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, for him to go there, I think the part might have been the part of the frustration is that we have no idea what the heck is going on with Glory. Like, to be honest with you.
And they've shifted a lot of their focus to Europe.
Any other kickboxing type
of fights. Yeah, there's a couple, but
they wouldn't have. But with Bellator basically getting rid of theirs, so it kind of leans to the point where, like, hey, he can make some decent money. But as far as doing this,
Ross right now,
he got to be about 33, 32.
Okay,
that old? I didn't think it was that old.
Yeah, because when I
thought it was closer to Anthony Merrick's age.
Anthony's about to be 30.
Right.
Ant's 29, so I think he's Ant's older.
I swear, I could have sworn Ross was younger.
Ross has been fighting since 2006, right?
I don't know, maybe. Yeah,
that's 15 years. Even if he started fighting at 16, he would be 31.
True.
So, yeah, no,
maybe dang.
Yeah, I think he might be turning like 32 or 33 this year, maybe 32, maybe. So, but yeah. So, yeah. With that being said, Yeah, because I think when I was fighting, I think he had turned 21 in like 2010, my last year.
You're right. He'll be 34 this year, apparently. He's 1987.
Yeah. I was gonna say, no, he's a little older, but yeah. So, with that being said, like, yeah. So, but with his preparation, you see him grazing his hair. With the
You seen his dad though. That don't make much difference.
I was saying, but with the preparation that he does and how he take care of his body, how he eats, has nutrition, what he does for a career, that physical training.
He's got a doctorate in physical therapy.
Like, yeah, so
he knows how to recover.
I'm not worried about him being prepared. He already went back down to Jati school to try and get back to his footwork and get back to his movement, angles, and spacing and timing and things like that to be more karate based. So, yeah, I'm not. I think they'll fight. They'll put him in a decent fight that he can shine, and then they'll probably quickly.
I think they'll give him 1 or 2, and then jump him up.
Yeah, they'll quickly move him up, and they'll try and make him the face over here in America for Karate Combat. Now, I think that's a good way to do it for him, and I think it was a good move. We might get a lot more endorsements and things like that'll be following him around, as opposed to the. I just think Glory just didn't have the structure right now.
Yes.
So it just is what it is. All right. Let's move on to topic number 2 real quick. We want to go to... Okay, I guess we'll just talk about what they've been promoting in VFT. Hey, people, they want y'all to jump off the cage. Climb to the top, jump off the cage, and throw a flying sidekick.
Super fly.
Yeah, like they're giving extra money, so if somebody's going to do it, if anybody does it, it'd be somebody from the West Coast, I think, who would do it. If I see anybody do it, I think somebody from the West. I could see Brian trying it if he's up enough, but I don't think he'll do it unless he just bounces off of it for some reason, and it just kind of naturally happens.
Yeah, like they back up and put their foot on the back of the cage and push off of it. That's
like do a Superman punch or something like that. I can see that happening.
I don't see no Showtime kick.
No.
Maybe. There's 2 people that are probably that I would think would do it.
Yeah, I think if somebody does it this one, I think it would be Jamal might try it if he's up enough. And I don't know the other kid.
Quinlan.
Quinlan.
My guess would be it would either be Jamal or Romani. Because Romani can trick as well. Because Romani can trick as well. I saw that at the battle. Yeah. That's how I found that out last year. But so like just based on athleticism,
We know I say that about Quinlan is because where he's from.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. They've been known to throw, especially from the Bay. They've been known to throw some wild stuff. Yeah, like they just throw some stuff. You're like, well, what in the world? Yeah. Would you be shocked if Drew did it?
Very.
I would be too. If she came flying off that, I would be too.
At the end of the day, nothing would really shock me at this point in life. With this last year and a half, I don't think too much could shock me.
I guess not. All right. The other thing is, I believe they posted something about. I'm not sure. I know the Plockers put up money towards the women's fight.
Yep.
So I guess there's going to be some extra money based off of. Hold on. Yeah, Maggie. Based off Maggie's, the female matters too. Yeah, female fighters matter too. Yes. So the women's prize money is sponsored by, I believe, Maggie. So there might be some extra. Well, it's sponsored by the Plockers. Yeah. So, so that they boosted. I think they boosted. They didn't say how much the money was boosted, but they boosted and gave them some more money. So, shout out to the Plockers for doing that. And I think John Claude is the one who I think is giving money for people coming off of.
Yeah. Off the fence was $100 or something first to do it.
I think so. All right. So with that being said, we move on to June 26, 2021. There will be VFT 9. And there will be a debut for VFT 9. It will be Richard Avery Plowden.
That's going to be dope.
They haven't announced who he's fighting yet.
No, they have not.
But I do know that from a text message that we got, that he said that VFT 9 is going to be huge.
Yes.
From what I'd heard is that certain fights that people have been talking about are actually going to actually happen.
You're talking about so-and-so versus so-and-so. Wait. Yeah. Now you can see it.
I have no idea who's fighting who. I have no idea what's coming, people. But it sounds like VFT 9 is going to be nuts. So make sure you get your tickets, because once that happens, and you might hear the broadcast sound a little bit different on that one. It just might sound a little bit different on that one.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit, people. Anyway.
Los is just...
Like, oh, y'all being cryptic. I have no idea what's going on.
Listen, y'all got the inside scoop and all that. Y'all got the your sources. You have your sources. You know.
Just saying, people.
I got you. I have an idea. One of the big fights that might be.
Yeah. All right, people. So, let's get into VFT 8, and we're going to start with the first fight.
You gonna pull up the screen?
Yeah, I'm about to share my screen right now, Carlos.
I gotta actually see the people before I can pick, because I only know like 4 of them.
All righty. See if I can zoom in here. All right, here we go. Tail of the tape, people. We have Alexa Fleshman versus Peyton Fender. Alexa Fleshman is a Super Grands middleweight Grands 2015 winner. They both have been have won a lot of different titles.
Juniors, yeah,
and the juniors, yeah. But Peyton has won a couple in 2019. She came out and she's been the Florida State champ. She won 2019 Battle of Atlanta Grand Champion. She won Starrcade Grand Champion. She won 2019 Pan American Grand Champion. And no game.
I think those were juniors still. Because 2019. That's still 16-17 overall grands.
Yeah,
so
but
small and tall grands. She won a couple this year, I think, earlier this year in Florida.
Yeah, she won a couple. So
and Alexa has won a couple this year as well in Kentucky and Tennessee areas.
Yeah. Where's Alexa from?
Honest to goodness, sir, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I don't know where she's from.
My guess would be somewhere in that area, Indiana, Tennessee, Kentucky, in that area, because that's where I see her.
Is she in Virginia?
She in Virginia? You know more than me. Like I said, I just
the reason why I say that because I've seen her training with Sean Elliott and Gina. So I wasn't sure if she might be somewhere in this area of Virginia or and then driving over to Tennessee or Kentucky, but I'm not sure. I actually honestly don't know where she's located, but so I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and kick this off between Alexa Fleshman and Peyton Fender. Any thoughts on the fight, Los? I'm gonna start with you because I know you know nothing about these two young ladies.
I know nothing about these two. Who's Fender's instructor? Yeah, Fender's instructor.
Fender.
Who's her instructor? Peyton. What stable does she come from?
She's a Central Florida stable. I don't 100%. I think she started with William Canonizato and where Jeremy Roque was over there before Jeremy opened his school. I know she comes from that general area with them. She's been with Velocity for a while.
Okay.
And like I said, we were not super sure about Alexa. I just saw her. She's Team Revolution, I believe.
Yeah. She's on Revolution.
I've just picked up. Her name just caught my radar.
I'm gonna go with Revolution.
Alexa.
Yeah.
Okay. Chris?
I'm kind of at a toss up as well. Just from what I've seen by the size of number of competitors and who is there. I think Alexa has had a little bit more of a successful year, but I can't go against Florida, so I'm going with Peyton.
All right. So I guess the tiebreaker was with me. Here's the thing. This is 3 rounds, people.
Yes.
So whoever is in better shape will probably win. For some reason, I think one of these ladies is going to get tired. I don't
think Peyton
know
looks
which
like she'd be in better shape.
So what now?
I think Peyton looks like she'd be in better shape.
Possibly. I think Peyton has fought more than Alexa lately.
And Florida's double elimination.
Yeah, and Peyton has fought in this, so I think I'm going to go with Peyton in this. It's almost a toss up because Alexa has that length.
Right.
Can I change who I'm going to pick?
Pardon me?
Can I change who I'm going to pick?
You want to change who you want to pick?
Yeah.
You want to go?
I said, can I change?
You want to?
No, I'm going to keep it hard, guys.
I was like, wait, what? But no. So the reason that might play a role in this because Alexa is taller, and I know people have said that the ring, the being inside of that cage is kind of small. It feels like there's just not a lot of room to move, and so that could play a big part in this. So we'll see. But
I don't like Alexa.
Jesus.
You know why? Because every time I call my Alexa at my house, it never does what I asked for it to do.
But don't.
Alexa she just ignore me. She don't be trying to hear me. I'd be like, Alexa, what's the weather? She'd be like, repeat that, sir. I'd be like, Alexa, play this song. She plays some other song. Like, Alexa be irritating me sometimes.
So she's 19. So a good portion of her life, Alexa has been around. And when you're a child, I can see the kids always making Alexa jokes towards her.
So you think that's rude? That's all right. I'm gonna go to Alexa just because of that. I'm gonna support her.
You already went with Alexa.
That's right.
I was gonna change my mind because she don't ever.
Dang, you pulling a Travis.
See, y'all talk about me, and here comes Lowe's over here just bouncing back and forth every 3 seconds.
I'm going with Alexa. Let's go, Alexa.
All right, so let's go to the next fight because Los is going. He's losing it over here. All right, shoot. I guess we know what's about to happen here. Well, you guys are going to pick. All right, but how do you guys see this fight playing out? Jamal versus Romani.
Playing out, or who are we just picking?
We're just playing out.
I'm picking Jamal. That's how it played out for me. You want like a story behind it or something, like some kind of build up as to why?
Yeah, something. Get the people are listening. Something like, hey,
yeah,
insight. That beautiful Carlos insight that he gives for people.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
I like Romani, man. I like Romani's spunk. I like his energy. I like his length. I like everything about him. But
it's all stars all day.
It's my little bro. He's gonna handle his business.
All right, Chris.
Yup. I like Romani. I really like Romani as a young fighter. But
these are both of your former teams, Chris. Or well, technically one is still your team. So
I was gonna say former. There's only one former. Nothing.
Actually, both of y'all have competed for both wearing these uniforms before. But
I never wore that actual straight up uniform. But yeah,
I was gonna say I didn't either. We had the old rec suits.
Yeah. But I mean, if that's what you're saying, then yeah, I guess.
But yeah. You are correct technically, but no, I would. Obviously, I'm going to go with Jamal as well. I think rolling off the pro point, I think he has that first one in the real work because he never stopped again. He never took it. You didn't go and then take a break and then now I got to train again. So it was on a constant motion.
So my only reservation is how Jamal will adjust to the cage and not have space to move as to how he would like to be able to move. Now, one thing I say about Jamal cuts back to the old Jamal. Jamal will be able to kill angles in that space in that ring. And I think that would definitely, if he's able to use those angles in that cage, it will help him tremendously. But also the challenge that he'll run into is Romani's length. So even though he's cutting an angle, there still may not be enough space.
Right. To get the smaller cage, the cage being that I said that's kind of one of the things for both of them. We noticed that with Romani when he fought Darren. The spacing, but Darren was the longer fighter, so like that whole change in dynamic and angles he fell into the cage, and those things were happening. So I see that happening in this fight more than any other one because both of them have such dynamic movement.
But I got Jamal winning.
Absolutely.
How was that, Travis? Was that better for you?
That was a lot better, guys. And I love the depth that you guys went there. Just that was superb. Thank you. So with that being said, I still can't see this fight. Like I honestly still can't see this fight. There's too many unknowns with it. First, I have no idea how, and all of it stems from Jamal. My whole hesitation about this fight stems from Jamal because I know I know what he can do, right? But also I know he's been inactive as far as competition goes for a while. Sure, he comes out and he compete every now and then, but he has been inactive for a while. This is 3 rounds. You're in a cage, coming from the West Coast to the East Coast. And then you have Romani, who has fought in this and has been around this for a while. You know what I mean? He's done it constantly competing, constantly doing that fighting. It's hard for me to pick against Romani because of that. Because I just don't know what Jamal is about to show up. You know what I mean? I don't know. I know he's training. I know what he can do. But there's been times when I saw Jamal in a tournament and he looked fantastic. And then the other one, he looked like, what are you doing? Like he may do something that's like, yo, that wasn't the smartest move. So and now that he's older, I'm like, okay, I don't think he'll still make those same mistakes. I hope he doesn't. But I just don't. It's just too much of a question mark for me to say that. I may be wrong, but hey, I'm going to have to go with Romani in this fight just because he's been more consistent. He's been training. And I think I don't know how hungry Jamal is. I think Romani's really hungry right now. So we'll see in that particular fight. So I'm going to go with Romani in that one. All right. Third fight. Team Dumlau versus Team. Is it K-Talk or KTOC? KTOC. All right. So, gentlemen, this is gonna be interesting because of the flip and who controls who fights, and if are they gonna force somebody to fight back to back, or if they're gonna force somebody. But that means your person has to fight back to back. So you have to be confident in your person to be able to fight back to back. And
I think, I think, never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, you have to be confident in your person fighting back to back. And I think one team would probably would relish in that. And I think one team would not want to do that.
Correct.
So, yeah. All right. I'm going to get you guys' thoughts on that stuff. Go ahead. Unless you want me to.
Why don't you go first? We've been first.
I knew you was going to say that, Los. I knew you were going to say that. I'll go. Los, you didn't have to go first the last time. You just jumped out out there and said, I'm thinking Jamal. Like, nobody asked you.
That's true.
I said, hey, can you tell me how this going to break out? I'm thinking Jamal. Hey, wait, what? All right. I think eventually the experience from Team KTOC pulls it out. I think they're going to pull it out. I think John and Drew eventually will have too much just experience, and in the second round of both of their fights is where it's going to show. I think the Quinlan and Alyssa are going to come out fired up. They have to make sure they don't just get too excited and use up too much energy, run into things, get intimidated. I'm not saying they will. I'm saying that's something they'll have to be comfortable in that fight. Right. So I'm because of that and the experience between KTOC, I'm going to go with KTOC.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on that one. I just got to go down to Florida. I actually just got to go to John's school and train over there a little bit with him and his guys. John's looking pretty sharp.
I mean, he's been fighting so often, so and unfortunately, we don't get to see what's going on in the Bay so much. I want to pay attention to the league more because I think what they do over there is kind of.
I love what they do. They got a lot of good things going on. They got a lot of good people and a good group of promoters out there with that group. They don't have as much coverage, but that's as in the history. The West Coast hasn't had as we on the East Coast haven't seen as much coverage from the West as. We
need to get some people out there to actually cover some of their stuff out there and just be something out there because it really depends on let's be real. Point Fighter covers a lot of it because they're in Florida,
right?
You know what I mean? And Florida is just we fight. We got tournaments. I mean, we've had tournaments since August, so we out here.
Last year,
so. So they John has been able to be active. I don't know how active Drew has been. I don't know. She's in Utah, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on in Utah. And California's been locked down. So that plays a part in it. Your timing. But go ahead, Chris. You were saying why you were picking KTLC.
No, I'm like you said. It's a lot of the experience. I know Sean Dumlau. They train some absolute monsters. That's originally where Jamal was from. It's from Dumlau's. And his brother Jason and Leanne Dumlau. They have some monsters, absolute monsters coming out of there. So don't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if these two come out. I've seen Alyssa fight a little bit and I've seen Quinlan fight a little bit. I just think, like you said, John's ability to keep distance and stay composed and being that experience. Drew's ridiculously long leg kind of sets up something real different in a lot of women's competition right now. So it's going to be a good fight. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means, but I do see the dust clearing KTOC with the win.
All right, Mr. Tierney.
Team KTOC or KTOC. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay. No real reason why. Just.
Yeah. I just I like their uniforms.
All right.
No.
I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna ask the question.
No, these guys are really experienced. Honestly, man, I think if Alyssa hasn't dealt with a leg, and Drew gets her leg going, and if 2 points if it's a 2-point head kick, that could be a challenge to run into. But it really depends. It really depends as to if Alyssa has dealt with someone that's a good kicker, and if they have someone that kind of replicate how Drew kicks, you know what I mean? If she gets inside her leg, then that's going to be.
I'm going to ask you a question
for Drew. And now
go ahead, Chris.
Go ahead, ask your question first because it might be pertaining to what I was about to say.
What is a way? Where's a path to success for the Team Dumlau?
Boy, girl, girl, boy.
Boy,
they let the boys and the girls fight.
No. Boy fight, girl fight, girl fight, girl fight, girl fight, back to back, boy fight, boy fight.
So you're saying the key to success for Dumlau is what?
Girls fighting back to back. Fighting Alyssa fighting Drew probably twice, depending on, like you said, the leg variable. My only thing is Drew seems to get tired sometimes.
Yeah, I would say Drew. I would. If I was this, I would have Drew fight back to back.
That's why I said
the second half of the back to back, not the first half.
Correct.
I want her to close and not John to close. You get what I'm saying?
You would want Drew to.
You want boy, girl, girl.
If I'm Team Dumlau, I want Drew to close the fight. So I want her fighting back to back.
So you would suggest going boy fight, girl fight, girl fight, back to back.
That's what I would do. And only because as you said, I have seen Drew get tired over time, and I have seen sometimes a psychological breakdown when something changes in the avalanche of a fight with Drew. Right, so Drew could be up, and then all of a sudden her first 3 kicks or 4 kicks was 8 points up, but now that person's figured out her timing of her kicks, and now they're starting to kind of come back. As life goes in our sport, the momentum starts going away to the other person. The anxiety starts to come in. The leg gets a little tighter, a little bit slower. Now you're trying to punch, but you're not really a puncher. So now I've made you kind of come into the space that I need you to be in through 2 rounds.
And made you doubt.
Right?
You're good.
So whatever the what was it, Pastor Troy? Pastor Quinlan Pastor?
Quinlan Pastor.
Okay, if Quinlan can keep it close with him and John in those 2 back-to-backs, I would take my chances with Alyssa, but I don't know what Alyssa can do, though. You get what I'm saying? So, John could come out and be up by 5, and then Drew can add another 9 or 8 to that with just 4 kicks to the head. That's 13 points you down. You know what I mean? Like how you
but
it's a long way. But we've seen it done before in the virtual fight tour. That rhyme.
So now, in all fairness,
I should bust some rhymes up in here.
In all fairness,
we've seen it before in the virtual fight tour.
But in all fairness, so what is K-Talk's path to success in winning this?
I think their path to success is securing John to fight last.
Yes, sir.
His ability to be patient. He doesn't rush over. He doesn't donate stuff. So like, if you can get a Drew up on a lead and you're not scoring a lot against John. John doesn't get spread. He might not always win a fight, but John doesn't get spread.
He's not to get spread from somebody that's just coming into the arena too.
No.
Like I mean, so just that alone, like yeah.
Does the cage mentally have an effect on these 2 teams? One that makes them stand in the middle of that ring and go toe to toe.
I think the Dumlaws are going to have good movement and angles. Like so the cage won't affect them so much because they know how to manipulate. I'm getting all deep into this, but they know how to manipulate within a small space. Like, you know what I mean? Yes. Where Drew needs the space to be able to be
as long as she is with her legs.
To be able to do what she got to do. John, I don't remember really his fights to kind of be able to tell like what he can and what he can't do. But I think that for the Dumlaws, I don't think the cage is gonna be a problem. Cause I don't ever see them actually touching the cage.
Right.
Like even within their backing up, they're hitting one angle or another angle. You know what I realized in the virtual fight tour? Nobody ever fights on the other person's side of the ring. Like nobody ever really circles to the other side or make the other person change just their view as to how everything is like right in front and right in that space.
Man, you better stop talking fight IQ with people.
But I mean, think about it. I mean, if you ever think about when we watch those fights, you very seldom ever see like someone just really using the ring itself and kind of like.
Well, see, that's where
shifting the view of the judges, shifting the paradigm of again fight IQ.
Cage has a mental effect when you get in there it makes you primal, makes you want to stand there and fight. And because of that, we know Dumlaws can move, but if they don't, and they're standing on that line and letting Drew get her leg off, or letting John get his leg off, or letting John step in and hit him, I mean, I think
Dumlaws, this is what you guys need to do. You guys need to take a whole bunch of big kicking shield bags and make a ring around you. And then with that ring around you, use your angles, have someone pumping at you with the kick and how to cut off the angle without running to that bag, because that bag is going to be your fence. And just using your angle, making them change the direction, using the whole circle of the ring. That's going to help your success in this fight.
I wasn't going to say pads. I was going to say have classmates hold hands and make a big circle around you. But yeah,
same. But what if you don't have that? You mean you don't have that?
I know they in Cali. That's true. We in Georgia. They in Cali. I get it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We ain't all got stables of people that we could just beat up and stuff.
You guys are so pro Dumlaws. Okay. Tell us what
I got
need to do.
I believe Cake. Is it K-Talk or is it TCK?
KTOC, K-Talk. I've heard both ways, so I really have no idea. It's like ESPN, KTOC.
Like a pimp named Slickback?
Yeah, like a Tribe Called Quest. Like it just is what it is. So,
like a Tribe Called Quest?
Exactly.
You gotta say the whole thing.
Please. Tell them, give some advice to Team KTOC. You just gave Dumlaws. We can't be one-sided out here, so I'm
gonna be totally one-sided. So I got Team K
because he picked one team, but he's giving the other team some advice.
All right.
Yeah, that's it. This is what I was saying.
I'm just trying not to
This is my
get,
recommendation for you guys to help your to give you a higher percentage of being successful.
I'm just trying not to get messages from Facebook like, "Hey, how can you over there coaching that team?" And I'm like, "Hey, look, man, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I let people talk." But anyway, let's go on to the final match.
Coaching, giving advice.
You just literally coached and told him drills to how to win the fight.
Give him advice.
You literally just gave him drills.
Give him advice. This is advice.
All right. So in the main event, we have B versus B. We have Brandon Ballou versus Brian Rodriguez. Right. Brian's 35. Brandon's 23. Brian's 189 pounds and Brandon is 175 pounds. Brian is 5'11. Brandon is 5'8. Go.
Well, I just feel like Brian just seems a lot taller than Brandon.
Yep.
Like it don't seem. I mean, 3 inches don't seem like a lot, but I'm thinking like this dude seem like he's like 4 inches. He seems like he's about as tall as Avery, if not taller than Avery.
Brian is freaking mad tall.
Avery about 5'11.
Well, say he seems like he's like maybe 6 foot, like maybe our height, right? 6 foot, maybe.
I'm 6'3".
Okay, so 6 foot and a half. Like I'm about 6'2". So
Yeah.
he seems to be like my height, like as far as just like
Who,
height.
Brian?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm short. I'm 5'7". I'm not.
No, not really. Now, when you see him in person, no, you don't. But maybe on screen, maybe because of who he's fighting and stuff like that.
Okay.
But
I guess I haven't seen him enough in person to kind of be like, oh yeah.
yeah, no. But no, he's about that. I think he might be 6 feet. I don't know, man. Anyway, as far as the fight goes, how do you guys see the fight going? Before
Chris
you guys
gotta go first.
You want me to go first?
Yep.
Yeah, Chris, go ahead.
All right, cool. Brandon's active. This will be Brian's first gig that I've really. I know he's done a couple of local tournaments.
He did the Starcade thing, remember?
Yeah. Like I said, so Brandon's been like much more active.
Yes, he has.
On a higher level.
That is correct.
Over the last year
he's
and
been
a
in
half.
Pro Point. He's been in VFT. He's been
Battle of Atlanta,
North Georgia Open.
Yeah. Like so, he's constantly moving. He's constantly training. He's in there with Romani and Bailey. And, yeah, he is. Got a little chip on his shoulder. That takes nothing away from Brian because Brian is a very talented fighter. Mm-hmm. It will be the story. Will Brandon be able to close in the gap on Brian's leg? Because I don't see Brian trying to punch with Brandon.
No.
Brian can punch. Brian can score with his hands, but I don't see that being a back and forth trade with these two. So I think the real tell will be, can Brandon move around? Can Brandon push through? Or will Brian be able to keep the space and keep his leg in between the two of them and be able to capitalize on utilizing his leg? Doesn't have to score with his leg either, but he has to utilize that leg. With that said, I don't think right now coming out as his first major fight will be successful. I got Brandon by a few.
All righty then. Los, you want to go? No,
I go. Yeah, I'm gonna pick Brandon.
Okay.
But
that's a shocker.
I think it will be how, because Brian being a kicker, I believe. Yes. I would be curious to see how Brandon handles Brian's length with his kicking and the spacing, right? Because although they have some good guys up there, they don't have any kickers really. I don't see Romani being a real kicker. And
no, I don't think Romani knows
Bailey's
how to play correctly.
Bailey's not a real kicker, right? So I feel that if Brian can strategically use his leg the right way, it will be a disadvantage for Brandon. But because it's 3 rounds, Brian's not going to be able to kick for 3 rounds. Right? So if Brandon can understand the distance and play the distance the right way and just know that by the mid-second round, by the 3rd round, that leg will not be as relevant anymore. And as long as he's not too far behind or he's up in a way, he'll be fine. So I will go with Brandon on this one. But again, if Brian can get his leg doing what it needs to do. I'll be curious to see how Brandon dealt with that, because he hasn't really had to deal with the leg like that.
Yeah.
If the Brian that I know of as being a kicker, and as what you said, Chris, if that is who he is, then that's what I would like to see. What kind of happens with it? An awkward kicker too, not like a real a very awkward.
He's not a traditional pick his leg up, pump, 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 kick at you. Yeah. A lot of underneath hook kicks, a lot of spin kick off that. Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. I'm going to make this 3 in a row. I'm going with Brandon. And I'm going to tell you why I'm going with Brandon.
Yeah.
Because of what.
Wait, can you tell us? Because you just picked him. We want to know why you picked him.
Yes, I can definitely tell you why. And I'm going to pick Brandon simply for one of the last things you just said, Los, and it's that Brian is a kicker in his 3 rounds, right? So then at that point, that means he has to use his hands, and I don't particularly remember seeing Brian being an effective or a very good blitzer, right? What Brian will do is he doesn't do really a defensive side kick. What he does is a fadeaway back fist, right? He does that jumping fadeaway back fist thing. The question is, are the judges going to call that? And I do know that inside of the virtual fight tour, they do kind of like the person who's more aggressive.
It depends, because I've seen give 3 fadeaway back fists in a row.
Chris, you ever seen that happen before, Chris?
Right.
That is correct. But and you have
tell
to.
I think bad, Chris. Tell him why you bad, son. Tell him why you bad. No, don't say that, Travis. It's happened before. Travis.
Oh yeah, it happened. And who did it happen against, and who was it for? The person who was on the East Coast, right? They were on the East Coast who was getting the jumping back fadeaway back fist. Brandon is going forward with his blitz, being the aggressor.
Right.
I think that it's going to come down to that in the second and third round. Is Brandon going to fake and then get in there? And I think Brandon's timing will have Brian's timing of that fading back fist.
This fight, I see the cage playing an effect.
Correct.
I see this fight with Brian trying to be long and Brandon trying to push through and get to that. I see the cage playing into effect.
So one thing I could say that if Brian, again, I'm trying not to coach, as you said, I can't coach, but
no, you can coach all you want.
You're saying
you already did it. Now. Go ahead.
Give advice. Like, I'm just gonna say, here's what I can see. Here's what I can see where Brian, because as you spoke about his back fist, right, and his jump away back fist, whatever.
Yep.
But I also feel that he has the length to possibly catch Brandon with his back fist, not trying to counter with a body punch, but with his back fist in the space that Brandon's trying to come into, right? Yes. So if Brandon's not coming in smartly or changing the distance and he's just coming, again, when you talk about our sport is technically supposed to be who hits first, right?
Speed.
So if he's able to catch him in that space, because the length and arms of Brian's arms is probably as long as one of Brandon's legs. So if that was the case and he caught him in that space, in theory, I could see that kind of shutting things down a little bit. So Brian could have a good lead with his kicks, and now his legs are tired. He's now just timing that space that Brandon's trying to come into. So Brandon cannot be just like the bully bulldog. He's going to have to probably be smart and make his adjustments when those things start happening to him, if they do happen to him. How's that? I
will say this. I think Brian's going to be. I think Brian might be up at the end of the first round. I think that's what's going to happen.
That won't matter though.
Nope. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that's what's kind of going to happen is that Brandon's going to be a little taken back because he's thinking Brian's kicking, and Brian's catching him with that back fist. And then when he blitzes in to get frustrated, Brian does the fadeaway back fist. At some point, I think that his timing may get Brian's timing may go off a little bit because he gets a little tired. And in that half a second is where Brandon starts to come back. Because either that or Brandon catches him with like a side kick somewhere to the body.
See, one thing I haven't seen from Brandon is I haven't seen his backwards fighting skills. I haven't seen his counter body. I haven't seen his D side. I haven't seen everything about him is
forward.
Off the line and aggressive. Yes.
Yeah. So that too can change the proximity and how the fight goes because Brian is a little taller, a little bigger, a little heavier.
That's if Brian spaces him correctly.
Yeah.
And I think Brian sometimes has a tendency to fight on the line,
on the line and stay right there.
Yeah, as opposed to stepping back.
Yeah, so, here comes a body punch. Boom. Here comes a body punch. Boom. Here comes a body punch. Your legs are too long. You can't get it. Now you try to
Now you try to pull off and pick up, and there's the step and the counter off of that. Exactly. Yeah. So it all depends on how, like you said, like we are all talking about, controlling the space with your leg or taking the space away from the leg.
I think
I'm picking Brandon. I like Brandon. I'm a fan of Brandon. I don't really know Brian like that, but I have watched him fight, this, that, and the other. So, I mean, whatever it is, whatever the post-fight interview is going to be, this is what it is. I'm a fan of Brandon. I want to see him do well. I want to see him succeed. I think it's his time to grow. But I'll be curious how this plays out with the length and the size. I haven't seen Brandon fight someone as long as him either.
If this was a 1-round fight, I probably would pick Brian.
Yeah.
But it being 3 rounds and him not as being as active as Brandon. But although Brian trains crazy.
Listen, that dude, you catch him on IG, he killing the workout game.
Yeah. But when that adrenaline is pumping and your timing and that kick,
as I say, being in ring and in competition, we know this all the day. You can be in great shape, but you go out there the first time and for 2 minutes and.
Yeah, if I think it was a regular tournament, I think Brian will probably might actually beat Brandon. I think he probably would break Brandon. But
1 round versus 3, it's a big difference.
I think that 3 rounds and not being in the cage and not being accustomed to it, I think that Brandon will probably end up getting Brian in this fight. Any other thoughts, fellas?
I can't wait for the show. We got a guest on with us again.
Yes, that is correct. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a guest anymore. I think he's
just there's a permanent fixture.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a permanent fixture. I think my Mike P is going to be a permanent fixture. I think I had something else. Y'all keep talking. I think I had something else to talk about, but I can't remember what it was. But anyway,
this is the last fight
about this. Huh?
Man, listen, I wanted. Well, I don't know. I want to talk about it right now.
What?
That prize money thing, man. They was talking about on Inside Scoop, and they brought up.
Oh yeah. We'll have to get into that.
That's a longer conversation. We get a little closer to the Father's Day weekend. We'll say.
Yeah, that's a long conversation. So we'll get into that about NASCAR changing the prize money and everything.
I saw that. It's like a lot less.
Half is basically half or less than half.
Yeah. Let me stop sharing the screen real quick.
How you got regional events giving out what old NASCAR events got, and you got them just we're not going to do any of that.
I don't know.
I bet you people still go.
Yeah, people still go because people been cramped up in the house for the last year and a half. So yeah, people are going to go.
Oh, they're going.
Yeah, people are going to go and compete. They've been itching. They've been wanting to punch and kick and show off their skills and everything. So yeah, people are going to go. But with that being said, I think that's pretty much it, right?
That's the game.
Yeah, we had an hour. We don't need to talk about anything else. Anyone else? So let's go ahead and just you guys anything else you want to say to people out there?
Thank you everybody for listening to us. We truly appreciate your support. Make sure you like, share, and comment. Tell your friends. Exactly. Spotify, iHeartRadio, and iTunes.
Speaking of people, we are not on Podbean longer. We are everybody in the Martial Arts Internet Network is on Spreaker. And just so people know, I forgot to say this.
Yeah.
Raw is back.
Hey.
Willie and Regina are returning next week. So Raw is back. Next Monday, they will be out. They will be talking. They will having their conversations. I don't know what they're going to talk about, but hey, I got the message yesterday. Willie and Regina texted me. He was like, "Yo, we ready?" I was like, "What day can we record?" And I was like,
"Do you text FEMA?"
No, I don't think he did.
Okay.
So that is going to actually happen next week. Make sure you guys tune in for that. So there are going to be 4 podcasts on the Martial Arts Internet Network. I can't wait to record all of this stuff, people. Yeah. All right. With that being said, let's get out. Drake, what we got to talk about?
These men, they couldn't even rinse me. She said she hot. I said, well, bitch, come and convince me. Ain't no seeing green, but I'm seeing green.
Yeah, it
Even
is.
with them floor seats, they couldn't see the
I
green.
enjoyed her
The K,
coming back.
ING, the
Who
GOAT,
put
plus
Lil Wayne,
me, the
Drake,
queen.
and,
I
Nicki
send
on it.
shots, send them back, or flee the scene.
Drizzy, let Drizzy rock out. Make sure y'all get the virtual
You know,
fight
one
to
of the
tickets, people.
Parents that make
Saturday,
money is
6
you can
p.m.
afford to be dramatic.
VFT
Y'all some drama queens for real.
Drama Queen.
It's all good though. You now tune into the biggest ever.
Yeah, virtual fight tour.
CMB, Tunchi Lee, Young Angel, Young Lion, man. Y'all boys get on the track with Onika Mirage and y'all still dying, man. What's up? We in this. This ain't gonna be the first time that I do numbers on 2 crutches.
Nope.
See more plaques than 2 brushes. Until I'm at the pearly white gates, I gotta move something,
people, we out.
do
We'll see
something.
y'all.
All
See
meetings
y'all
happen in
Saturday,
person,
virtual
so they
fight tour.
can't prove nothing. Known to